The Washington Post editorial board is calling for stricter SNAP qualifications across the U.S. as Minnesota fraud scandals unravel under Governor Tim Walz. They say, quote, Walz's boondoggle underlines the need for serious reforms across America. Too bad that too many progressive leaders are lackadaisical at best about cracking down on fraud and errors lest it curtail social services.
Joining us now is senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, SNAP is the fourth most likely for fraud of federal programs. Your reaction to the Washington Post editorial board?
Well, you got to wonder, guys, if Governor Tim Walz will blame white supremacy for the Washington Post editorial board. Not exactly a bastion of conservative sentiment. An editorial board has never endorsed a Republican presidential candidate in its history, by the way. They're now even calling out Walz and other Minnesota state leaders, and rightly, because now you got to look at all the pressure from federal government under Donald Trump and what he's doing in putting the pressure on Minnesota. And rightly, given the billions of dollars that were stolen, allegedly, by members of the Somali community for many years. HHS has now cut off all child care funds. The Department of Agriculture now investigating SNAP. The Labor Department is now investigating unemployment insurance fraud. And Homeland Security, Justice Department, they're now executing search warrants in a door-to-door fashion. This is a full-court press. And I'll leave it here, by the way. Betting markets are now saying that Governor Tim Walz, again, a vice presidential candidate with Kamala Harris in 2024, not too long ago, he now has a 30 times more chance of being indicted than he does of winning the presidency. The way this is going at this point, Nate, I think you might as well put that at 30,000 times at this point.
You know, Joe, honestly, this system, it just needs to be cleaned up. And I know this is, I don't know if this is going to sound good or bad, but maybe this needed to happen at such an obscene level for people to realize how much these programs are being taken advantage of, because a lot of people rely on this and they're just getting swept under the rug because so many people are doing so many things wrong. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, Ashley, absolutely. And it's not only like what should have been provided. I mean, in some cases, it was an apparition to begin with. I mean, we're talking about food programs for hungry children in places that didn't even produce the types of facilities that would provide that. Or even worse, autism services. We know that problem's only getting worse in this country. All these centers that were supposed to open that never even existed. And when you talk about billions of dollars, we're not talking on a federal level where you can say, well, that's not too much when you consider that we're talking like trillions of dollars. This is at a state level that doesn't remotely have the budget for this. So, again, accountability goes to the top. That goes to Tim Walz. And he has been deflecting, playing the race card from the bottom of the deck. And now, at this point, even liberal media is now investigating this. There is nowhere to go for this man. And we have to wonder, a year from now, will this be seen as one of the biggest stories of 2026? And hey, whatever happened to that guy, Tim Walz, who was running for president at one point?
Well, hopefully he's held accountable, like you said, to the fullest degree.
For sure. Joe, so I want to get your take on this back and forth between President Donald Trump and actor George Clooney. So we're going to start by showing you Trump's Truth Social. It reads, quote, good news, George and Amal Clooney, two of the worst political prognosticators of all time, have officially become citizens of France, which is sadly in the midst of a major crime problem because of their absolutely horrendous handling of immigration. He wasn't a movie star at all. He was just an average guy who complained constantly about common sense in politics. Make America great again. Now, I want to show you Clooney's response. He said, quote, I totally agree with the current president. We have to make America great again. We'll start in November. Your thoughts?
He's going to start in November, I guess, from, I don't know, the south of France or Paris. So it's interesting. George Clooney says Democrats are going to fight at the same time, like eating a croissant. It's an odd combination. And it's weird that Clooney moved to France because he had a pretty sweet place in Lake Como in Italy.
No kidding.
But again, George Clooney has no... Yeah, seriously, right? I saw it in Ocean's 12. But look, he has no standing here. He was at a fundraiser in Hollywood just days before that disastrous debate for Joe Biden in June of 24 and said nothing. He only wrote that infamous op-ed after it was realized by the country that Biden's brain had turned to applesauce and it couldn't be hidden anymore. And now, because he played Edward R. Murrow in a movie 20 years ago, he thinks CBS moving to the center as it's doing is a very bad thing. So overall, Clooney is going to fight this, I guess, from France. It makes no sense, but more power to him. Nice is quite lovely. I've been there. I don't know if you have, actually. It's quite,
Joe Concha, as always, thanks so much.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.